Okay. So we have been doing the introduction for the last two classes. Hopefully today is the last one. So in the introduction, we studied three parts: broad contents of the PRS, Mangalacharan. And last week we started definition of pure devotional service. We'll continue from the third portion of introduction, which is definition of pure devotional service. So this is the verse which we all read, so I'll not reread it. Just quickly read the translation for the benefit of everyone. The highest bhakti is defined as continuous service or emotions directed towards Krishna, his expansion forms, or others related to him, with a pleasing attitude towards him. It should be devoid of desires other than desire to please the Lord and unobstructed by impersonal jnana, the materialistic rituals of karma, or other unfavorable acts. So last week we were reading the characteristics of pure devotional service. So anyone can say what are the two parts of the characteristics?
Swarup Lakshana and Tathastha Lakshana.
Thank you, Mataji. Swarup Lakshan means, if you can translate,
That is uh,
the
the
primary characteristics.
primary
Right.
characteristic.
So that has to be there for that thing to exist. If those things are not there, that thing won't exist. Anyone can give an example of that? There can be many examples, just one which we discussed last week. Primary lakshan, like water. What is the primary lakshan of water?
Liquidity.
Liquidity. Thank you. So, if liquidity is not there in a normal state, we are talking, then water is not a water. Then water is clean or unclean. That's a tatastha lakshan or secondary qualification. So, bhakti also has to be established with the first three swarupa lakshan, and then the other two can be the tatastha lakshan, which makes bhakti pure. Bhakti can also be impure. We discussed about bhakti practiced in three different types. Anyone remembers what those three types were? And if you remember the example, so bhakti can also be practiced impurely. What are those three types which we discussed?
So in goodness is Prithu Maharaj,
Thank you.
in passion is Dhruv Maharaj, and
Yes.
ignorance is Daksha Prajapati.
Thank you. They're all serving the Lord, but they're serving Lord in different modes of material nature. Slowly, they all get purified. But the point is, first, it has to be these three lakshanas, Krishna, Anushulyam, and Anukulyana, and the Tatastha can be Anyavilashta Shunyam, Gyan Karmadi, and Avtam. So we already covered the Swarup Lakshan, which is the primary characteristics last week. Now today we will read the secondary characteristics. So let's quickly revise the primary characteristics. So Krishna, what are the four qualities of Krishna, which we discussed last week? Someone else? Yes, Prabhu, do you remember? What does Krishna include?
Sorry, Prabhu, I missed the last week class.
Okay, no problem, Prabhu.
I don't remember. I attended on
No.
YouTube. Sorry.
Okay. Anyone else? What are the four things included under Krishna?
Expansion of Krishna,
So
paraphernalia.
Krishna himself first, as a person, Krishna. Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Paraphernalia of Krishna, pure devotee.
Thank you. So first is Krishna. Second is Krishna's expansions. Third is Krishna's paraphernalia. And fourth is Krishna's pure devotees. Which expansions we are talking here? Anyone else?
Vishnu Tattvas.
Vishnu
The
Tattva.
sound.
So we are also expansions. What are we called? Which category we come in? Ujjwala Samataji?
Vibhinnasha, I think.
Vibhinna ansha. So Vibhinna ansha, Swa ansha, Vishnu Tattva Vibhinna ansha, which is separated. Prabhupada gave an example in Upanishad. Cow dung is a separated, or milk as well, is a separated energy of cow. It's energy of cow. It's a separated energy. This energy of it comes from cow. So we come from Krishna. We are called Vibhinna ansha, separated energy. We are also the energy of Krishna. So what expansions we are talking here? Only Vishnu Tattvas, so which we can see on the screen. So pure devotion services for Krishna, not for anyone else. We also discussed about devoting people. Sometime use this term devote to their family, to their country. Can we use that word perfectly in that usage? Why not, Ramya Mataji? Okay. Your answer is correct. I just want the expansion. Why we cannot use that word perfectly when we use it for other than Krishna. Devotion, for example. I devote myself for my country, for my family, for my community. It's an incomplete usage. Because when we say devotion to Krishna, that's a complete usage. Why? Because when we say when we devote or we love Krishna, that means we love Krishna. We love Krishna's pure devotees. We love those devotees who are aspiring to love Krishna. And we also love those whom Krishna loves. So that is a complete package. Otherwise, it's incomplete usage. There's another word which should only be used for Krishna or his incarnation. Say, for example, Jayanti. But nowadays, it's used for some humans as well. So that's a different story. But this is a complete technical, perfect usage of those words. Okay, only Krishna and his direct expansions, which are Vishtattva, are appropriate objects of our devotion. So we respect everyone, but our ultimate object of devotion is Krishna. Other living entities may also be Krishna's expansion, but those expansions are indirect. His differentiated parts and parcels, Jiva Tattvas, and various energies are also servants of Krishna, and as such, not eligible to receive our devotional service. Okay. Anushilanam, sorry, anyone remembers the meaning of Anushilanam? We read few meanings last week.
It's a
Means to
continuous
act.
Okay, Jayadharma Prabhu, can you say again? Sorry.
it's a continuous service.
Continuous
To-
service. Okay. Anything else?
To act, to practice.
Yes. More.
To serve and worship.
To serve and worship. Thank you. So everything is sort of included. And anu means with devotion or anusaran karna. So to follow in the footsteps of our acharyas. As they have told, we are practicing our sadhana under their guidance, not independently. Yes, Prabhupada said there are two types, pravritti and nivritti. What should be done, what should not be done. So there are some yam and there are some niyam. Anyone can give example of yam and niyam? Now, Avatar Prabhu? Yam and niyam, like simple examples.
So chanting,
So what is this, yam or niyam?
that's a niyam.
That's a niyam. So these
And
are the positives. So
yeah.
whatever positives we are doing some deity worship, whatever positive, they're all niyams. So we do Ekadashi Vrata, for example. That's a niyam. And yama, example.
Four regulative principles.
So what we don't do.
What we don't do.
Yam refers to, and that's from yam words, yam raj. So what we are not supposed to do, if you do that, you meet yam raj. Because you're not supposed to do this. Yam Raj. Niyamo ke wo Raja hai. So whatever don'ts, he's the head of that. Okay. So Jiva Goswami also says, there's an active form which is Cheshta Rupa, using the body, words, and mind, and an emotional form, Bhava Rupa. So we can serve from both aspects. This service Anushilam obtainable only by the mercy of Lord and his devotees transformation of Lord's Swarupa Shakti, and that's not material but spiritual. Anyone can give an example of this Swarupa Shakti when we practice our devotional life related to our seva. So for example, in temple, you're doing some seva, which is considered very, very menial service. Is that on absolute platform? It is absolutely on the absolute platform. So we should not differentiate from our mundane eyes. This seva is small, that seva is big. Even by doing the smallest seva, Prabhupada once for the Radha Damodar Mandir, when he took his disciples first time back in India, there's an old Bengali lady used to come and bring water from Yamuna for the bathing of Radha Damodar. And Prabhupada said one day, this lady is going back to God. This is her last birth. And the whole life she's been doing that one seva, bringing Yamuna water for the bathing of Radha Damodar. She doesn't know many shastras, this and that, but she's just absorbed in that one seva completely. And Prabhupada said, this is her last birth. She's going back to Godhead. That's why there's nothing small or big. Yeah, we do seva appropriately as per the need. And different devotees may have different inclinations to do that seva more better than others, but at the same time, all devotional service, they are on the same platform. Nothing is small or big. Anukulyana. Did we do this last week? I can't remember. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, did we do that?
Sorry,
We
Prabhuji.
did it, Prabhu, I
We
think.
did.
We
Okay,
did
okay.
that one.
Okay, so let's do it very quickly. So Anukulyan refers to Anukul, favorable. So it's favorable for Krishna, which gives pleasure to Krishna. Is that right understanding? Which gives pleasure to Krishna? Ramya Mataji, yes. Anukulyan refers to which gives pleasure to Krishna. Giriraj Prabhu? Yes. Anyone else? Who wants to say yes? Which gives pleasure to Krishna?
What is intended to?
Intended to please Krishna. An
Yes.
example, anyone else remember an example?
So the difference between Yashodama giving pleasure to Krishna versus Hiranyakashipu or someone
Thank you.
in the
Thank
form
you,
of
Prabhuji.
Devi.
So we can look in these pictures here. So Narsingadev actually is having pleasure in the fight. He's not like one of us. Oh, who's this opponent? He's very heavy opponent. Narsingadev is enjoying. Krishna is enjoying in Mathura when he is wrestling with these Pahalwans. So he's enjoying. But is this Pahalwan or Hiranyakashipu service is considered as devotional service? Because that was not intended to please Krishna, it was intended to kill Krishna. They wanted to kill Krishna. So their service, although giving pleasure to the Lord, is not considered bhakti. Bhakti is considered by Yashoda Maya. Although Yashoda Maya gave displeasure to Krishna, externally speaking, but still because she wanted her whole existence is to please Krishna. So even when she put Krishna down from her lap, Krishna was angry. That service is considered pure devotional service. It's Uttama Bhakti by Yashoda Maya. So we understand the difference. So it should not be just on the face value, it should have a meaning in it. And that's why they say Bhakti is all about our attitude. It's not about anything else. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. How much quality? Sometimes we may chant 64 rounds, but with no intention. It may be just a competition. Initially, the competition is not bad. We call it transcendental competition, but it should have a higher spirit that should not become the end. I think Radhanath Maharaj was saying, so 16 rounds and we all should do, and I'm sure everyone is doing 16 rounds, but that's just a beginning. This number is just a beginning. It's not the end. I've been doing 16 rounds for 20 years. Yes, very nice. Definitely nice. You'll get benefit, but that's not the end. The end should be quality. So Maharaj always emphasizes on the quality. But again, quantity should not be ignored. My mala is not happening good, so I will not chant from tomorrow till the time I chant qualitatively. So starting quantity is very, very nice, but that's not the end. Okay, so till here we discussed last week. Anyone else has any questions on these three topics, and then we move to the secondary Lakshana. Okay, all good. So let's start from Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karma Dhyanartham, which is the first line which represents the secondary characteristics of bhakti. So Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, what will it mean? Anyone can say? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. So what does Shunya mean? Everyone knows Shunya. Shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahed me. For us, it may be money virahed me. Shunya itam jagat sarvam. Without money, jagat feels like a shunya. Without position, without others certifying us, we may feel shunya. But here, it's not. It's anya. Anya means other. Abhilashita. Now, abhilasha and abhilashita, there are two words. This is not one word. Abhilasha means everyone knows abhilasha, desire. So sometimes very externally they translate anya abhilashita shunyam, and it translates as there should not be any other desire. But that's not the complete translation. The word is abhilashita. Abhilashita means motive of the desire. So abhilasha means desire. Abhilashita means what is the motive of that desire. So example is given. Suppose you desire protection from the Lord, and we can see on the screen Draupadi asking for protection from the Lord. Is she not a pure devotee? She's asking for her protection. And here the definition says, if anya abhilasha shunyam, then that means she is not a pure devotee, but she is a pure devotee. She's the eternal state of Lord. Now, Draupadi in the eternal world is a Sakha of Krishna. She she or he has a male form actually in the spiritual world. In the material world, she took a female form, but that doesn't matter. She's a Sakha of Krishna. This soul is a Sakha of Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna, eternal associate of Krishna. But in this instance, she's asking for personal protection. How would you justify this act also being a pure devotional act? Because the word used by Rupa Goswami is not Abhilasha, it's Abhilashita. What is the motive of her? Motive of her calling for Krishna's protection is when she is protected, Krishna will be glorified. There's a one nice poem which Lal Govind Prabhu says, I don't remember that, but sometimes Pandavas used to say, if we get defeated, if we die, who cares? But your name will come down, Krishna. Your pure devotee. You say, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotees never perish. And we got perished. So we don't care if we get perished. Your name will come down. When Bhishma Pitama took the vow that I will kill all the Pandavas tomorrow, the next day with those 5 special arrows. So who was awake first? Was Krishna or Pandavas? Krishna was awake. And then he woke up the Pandavas. He said, wake up, wake up. Do you know the news? Vishwamitra is going to kill. And they're like, okay, that's your job to protect us. Like, bindas, koi chinta nahi hai. They were, sometime in humors, they went back to sleep again. And Krishna is like, you are giving me tension. Well, that's your job. That's your job. You have taken that job profile, huh? See, we are your devotees. Our job is just to devote yourself. You kill us, maro bhi, rakho bhi, jai ichha tumhara. You want to kill us, you want to protect us. It's completely up to you. So Pandavas, Draupadi, they did not care about the personal existence. But through this, and our acharyas explained, through this pastime, it was demonstrated only Krishna can protect. Only Krishna can protect. And Krishna will protect. Rakshasyati iti vishwasa. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Rakshasi iti vishwasa. Krishna will surely protect me. Surely. There's no doubt about it. There's one pastime in one Purana. I heard in a class, Prabhu Chaitanya Prabhu, this devotee was very, very nice devotee. One time his competitor, when you become famous, competitor always come in the market. So his competitors became quite envious of his fame. So they wanted to put him down. So somehow they hired some gundas. So it's not just happening in the modern time, it has happened in the Shastra as well. They hired some gundas anyway. They took him to the top of the cliff and they were going to throw him. And this devotee was completely fearless. And he says, if the Shastra is correct, nothing will happen to me. And they threw him on the top of the cliff. And he just got a little scratch on his leg, just a little scratch on his leg. He went to his Guru Maharaj asking, Guru Maharaj, Shastra is supposed to be correct, right? And if Shastra is correct, I'm a devotee. He was not proud, but he said, I'm a devotee and Krishna should have protected me. But why did I get the scratch? So he was not complaining, but he was curious. And his Guru Maharaj asked him, what did you say? If Shastra is correct, nothing will happen to me. He said, you put if. If. That means you have faith, but if is something missing. So all of us, we can judge ourselves how much faith we have in Shastra in the holy name. Prabhupada, one of the God brothers, Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, he was just telling Bon Maharaj, who is another God brother of Srila Prabhupada, he was saying, you went to America, sorry, you went to London, you went to Western countries, Swami Prabhupada also went to Western countries. You preached Hare Krishna Bhagavad Gita, he also preached Hare Krishna Bhagavad Gita. He came with so much success, you came with nothing. What was the difference? So Kinchas Babaji Maharaj said, he had so much faith in the holy name, which you didn't. So although you did the same thing, you had sannyasi. And Prabhupada went with 40 rupees, he also said. And Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj sent his ticket. He made all the arrangements for his expenses while he was in London. So he was asking money for food, lodge, everything. And he came back practically with no success. Prabhupada came with so much success. And the reason was Prabhupada had so much faith. So how can you chant in one park and attract the crowd? You go and try in one of your parks nearby, just chant Hare Krishna. People probably will throw something at you after 2-3 days. This gone case. But when Prabhupada chanted, he could attract hundreds of souls, and then he started the whole movement just No no microphone, nothing Prabhupada had. So the word here is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Our desire, sometimes we may have a desire for self-protection, but there is no ulterior motive in that. I'm using Krishna. That will become the seventh Namaprad. Sometime they say in Padma Puran that chanting the holy name on the strength, committing the offenses in the strength, committing the sinful activities in the strength of the holy name. On the basis of Nam, when you perform sinful activities, thinking, okay, I'll just chant one Ram, everything will be nullified. No, it's not. That's a Nam Aparad. Okay, let's see. So Anya is other. Abhilashta means integral desire. What's the motive of that desire? Shunyam. So Anya Abhilashta Shunyam means void of any other desire. Should person any desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire. Even if there are extraneous desires, one's motive must be kept completely pure. One should desire only to please the Lord and thus execute pure devotional service. So this is called Anya Bilashta Shunyam. Now, the last one is Jnana Karmadi Anavratam, not covered by Jnana or Karma. Now, here the word uses Anavratam. So, Avrat, Avratam Jnanametin. In the third chapter, Krishna uses the word Avratam Jnanametin. The living Triti Jnana is Avrat, is covered. Anavrat means is not covered. What does it mean? It's not, Bhakti is not covered by Jnana or Karma. Now the word here is not used Gyan Karmadi Shunyam. Shunyam means zero. So what does it indicate? Jnana and karma also has their value if they are used properly in Krishna's service. So we are not ignoring karma, we are not ignoring jnana, but what you are saying, we are not predominating over bhakti. Bhakti is not covered by jnana or karma. Because karma and jnana is also a bona fide marga. But we take what is anukul for our service, we take that jnana. That's why it's called Bhakti Anukul Gyan and Bhakti Pratikul Gyan. What Gyan is favorable to Bhakti, what Gyan is unfavorable to Bhakti. Similarly, there can be Bhakti Anukul Karma or Bhakti Pratikul Karma. So 1 second, I'm getting a prompt here. Okay. So we understand, so Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. So bhakti should not be covered by Jnana or Karma, although they are useful and we use it in a positive way. For example, we are reading all the Bhakti Shastri exams, this and that, you have to cram verses. There's some Jnana involved. So we are not denying that Jnana, but this Jnana is to bring us closer to the Lord. That's the purpose at least. Now some devotees may get stuck in the process itself. They become jnani, and our Prabhupada is constantly reminding us again and again and again. Our purpose is not to become too scholarly here. If that helps, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, one example, there can be anyone who has so much jnana in his head, but he is using purely for the service of the Lord. So that's very beautiful. He attract with that knowledge so many people. So that's very nice. But that purpose is not to become a jnani. What does jnani means? Whose purpose becomes to realize Aham Brahmasmi. And for bhakti, that's the starting bit. That's the starting bit. Second chapter, the first instruction Krishna gives is, you're not the body, you're the soul. So jnana, philosophical speculation. We can also speculate. Speculate does not mean Krishna is a light and we go beyond it. Speculation means just doing some mental analysis. I heard this in this class, I heard that in that class. Oh, if you combine together, that makes sense. That's very nice. I can use that. So those sort of, analysis of philosophy is not restricted, although it's recommended. But what should be the eventual result? That should be used in the service of the Lord. Not just become jnani. It says one of the definition of muni is who do lot of manan. And manan, every muni has a different point of view. Vishwamitra Muni, Vashishta Muni, Narad Muni. They're all doing manan. But the real muni is the one whose anta, Vedanta should become Krishna. So I am using all my analysis in the service of the Lord. So that is the best Muni, who is say Narada Muni, for example. Okay, I'll just read Prabhupada words here. The ultimate end of philosophical speculation then must be Krishna, with the understanding that Krishna is everything, the cause of all causes, and that one should therefore surrender to him. If this ultimate goal is reached, then philosophical advancement is favorable. So there is a favorable and unfavorable content of it. But if the conclusion of the philosophical speculation is voidism or impersonalism, Shunyavad or Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Pashyatya Desha Tarine. So Prabhupada came to remove that. That is not bhakti. That is not bhakti. If your conclusion is like a Buddha conclusion or Mayavadi conclusion. Okay. Um, Karma, ritualistic pursuits. I'll just read Prabhupada. Plus, one can engage in ordinary social and religious activities, but such engagements must not become more prominent than one's engagement in direct bhakti. If such activities overshadow one's attention to devotional activities like hearing and chanting, they cover one's devotional attitude and disqualify him from pure devotional service. Example, the ritualistic activities described in the Vedas, astrology. So sometimes a devotee can also refer to astrologer, and there are some sannyasis or senior Prabhupada disciples also who do this astrological science. But if you become too much overwhelmed with, today is a Rahu Kal, so I cannot go to temple. Today is this Kal, that Kal. That's not recommended. It says Ganesh is a Vignaharta. But where does the Ganesh gets his power? From Narsingadev. So a Vaishnava astrologer will tell you, okay, if a normal astrologer will tell you to worship Ganesha, what Vaishnava astrologer will say, please worship Narsingadev, offer red flowers to Narsingadev, and that's fine. So you're integrating that knowledge for the service of Lord as well. So by worshipping Lord Vishnu or Narsingadev, you are increasing your devotion. But just by worshipping Ganeshji as on his own, you're not increasing the devotion. So what you're becoming? Karmic. Another example given, Shraddha ceremony, very popular topic, especially these days in ISKCON. So Shraddha ceremony should be done or should not be done? This is the question asked. What's the answer? Many devotees are hearing many lectures these days.
It should be done.
It should be done. Why? Sorry.
Because Prabhupada in the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says that Shraddha ceremony is actually offering the phala. First is that we should offer it to Krishna, and that prasad should be offered to the people who are passed away to a pitras. Because in that way, they actually get the benefit of the bhakti, and that actually helps them to take another birth as a bhakta in the material world, and that's how they get liberated. So, second thing is that even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that we are not a very top class devotee that we can actually get rid of everything, right? Secondly, we are also born with so much of what you say debts, right? And Shraddha ceremony is actually paying off the debts. It's one of the process of paying off those debts. So any debt that is there, if it's been offered to Krishna first and then it's been offered to all our pitras, then actually we also become debt free, and the people who received it, they also become debt free. And in both the ways, we are actually doing bhakti to Krishna and actually offering that bhakti to Krishna. In that way, we all are getting actually rid of all the problems. So that is why it should be done. This is what I heard in a lecture. So that's what I'm saying. Thank you very much. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
No. It's not about right or wrong. It's just about the discussion. So thank you, Prabhuji. That's a nice question. But I think my question was incomplete. So Prabhupada, where it mentions we should do, yes. And there's a verse which says we have 6 debts, and one of the debts is to our forefathers. And unless we become pure devotees, we should keep offering. And as you explained very nicely, I'll not go there. Now, if you are a pure devotee, should we still do Shraddha? Let's discuss that question. So Prabhuji explained from a normal perspective. Very good. If you're a pure devotee, Shastra says, Bhagavatam is saying, we are out of those 6 debts. Right? So let's take a range, right? So Prabhu gave a very nice normal example, which is correct. Let's take another. Anyone else?
Nasidev Bhagwan actually told Prahlad Maharaj to do
That was the Shraddha, that Antyeshti. Ram also told Vibhishan to do Antyeshti of Ravan. Vibhishan actually refused to do that. Ram said, no, you should do that. Yeah, okay. It's a difficult topic. The answer is no. Answer is no. As per Shastra, you are out of 6 debts. But Giriraj Maharaj, one of the very senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he said, but we can still do it. Although we don't need to do it, but we can still do it. You know why? He said it's called Lok Vichar. Lok Vichar means social ritual, social custom. So that by doing that, we're also doing a sort of preaching activity. because we are involving others, that these ISKCON walas are not something, out of the world, huh? They also follow. But we are doing from loka vichar, not per as we have to do. If you're a pure devotee, you don't have to do, but you can still do it. It's not like if you don't do Shraddha, Krishna will reject you from the door. Or you haven't done the Shraddha ceremony. So, but it only applies for pure devotee as per Bhagavatam. If you have completely surrendered to Krishna. But from a normal perspective, as Mahasaya Prabhuji explained, that's correct. We should do it. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did it. Krishna did it. That is from. So we have to understand why they did it. They are God. From the lok vichar. So it's very, very important. But if this lok vichar is predominating your bhakti on a continuous basis, what will happen? Your bhakti will get contaminated. So many times what happens, and it's happening sometimes, and many times our Guru Maharaj and other seniors also get very much worried sometimes. ISKCON congregation sometimes getting over influenced by these local vicharas, over influenced by the local vratas, local tapasya, which Prabhupada did not recommend it, but they get inclusive. One time my Guru Maharaj was telling in Mayapur, he lived in Mayapur for many, many years. One of the brahmacharis, we're talking within temple campus obviously, was worshipping his bicycle on Vishwakarma Jayanti. Guru Maharaj told in a class in Sydney. So he's saying that is called contamination. So that's called contamination. We should be very, very aware. Maharaj gave one more example of Tulsi Aarti. So Tulsi Aarti, sometimes they say, Bhaj Radha Krishna Seva Pao. Maharaj said, there is no bhaj. There's no bhaj there. Why are you adding bhaj there? There's Radha Krishna Seva Pao, not Bhaj Radha Krishna, because it sounds better. So they start singing. They're happening in other parts as well. So Maharaj was saying we should be very, very careful that we follow our acharyas as it is. Whatever been told by our acharyas, just follow it. Don't try to add or delete anything. Prabhupada said, I was not a very scholarly person, out of humility, obviously. But I became the most successful. Why? Because I presented the teachings of my Guru Maharaj as it is. As it is. So whatever our gurus have told, acharyas have told, just follow. Don't think, by adding this, it will become more sweeter. No, no, it may become contamination. Because Maharaj said the point is not bhaja. Tomorrow you are adding bhaja, then day after tomorrow someone else will add something else, then something else. After 50 years, you will see it's a complete different song. So he said, be very, very careful. Some devotees, while doing Tulsi Pranam, another example given by Sankarshan Maharaj, they say, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo. And Maharaj said, this is not Krishna Bhakti, it's Vishnu Bhakti. In the shloka, it says Vishnu Bhakti. Do not say, Krishna Bhakti, because you think Krishna will be better. No, no. It's Vishnu Bhakti means Vishnu Bhakti. Say it as it is. You don't need to change the shloka just because you think it becomes better. No. Our acharyas, Vyasadev, they know exactly what to write, where to write. So don't try to change it. It says Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo. So don't say Krishna Bhakti. Many devotees say that. So karma should not try to overrule the bhakti. As far as it's becoming favorable, that's fine. Otherwise, go and seek guidance from a senior member. Yes, Sakhiradhika Mataji. Okay, no problem. We'll move forward, and whenever you get chance, you can ask. Prabhupada writes, actually, Krishna consciousness can be based simply on hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. Besides which, everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Look at the Prabhupada words here. Besides that, everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. So keep it simple, pure as it is. That's the message. Thus, one should always be guarding against fall downs. Okay, now Jnana Karma Dhyanartha. This is a beautiful sort of discussion done. This is by His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj. So he says, and we have read in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, Pradhani Bhut Bhakti, if you remember, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti. We've read these terms. So Jnana Mishra Bhakti and Karma Mishra Bhakti. What does it mean? Where Jnana is mixed with Bhakti, although Bhakti is more than 50%. So major share is Bhakti, no doubt about it. So here we see two types here. We see Karma Mishra Bhakti and Jnana Mishra Bhakti. So Karma Mishra Bhakti, which you can see, say around 80%, roughly speaking. But there's a 10-20% karma is involved. You can only go back highest Salokya Saropya Mukti. That's what Maharaj said. If it is Jnana Mishrit Bhakti, the max you can reach is Shantarasa, because Bhakti is still predominant, but there's a mixture of Jnana. There's a tendency Oh, this is also nice. This is also nice. No, look at our acharyas, what they have done. Tat tat karma pravartanat. Don't include anything, don't delete anything. Otherwise, what will happen? Some mishran, some mixture may come, and then our bhakti may not be pure, which we are aspiring for. The Maharaj said, if the bhakti is pure, 100% bhakti, as per our scriptures, you get then the other rasas. Otherwise, you will never reach the max. You will get is shanta. Max is shanta. Then you are going to reach dasya, sakya, etc. Pure bhakti, which is taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, I just wanted to ask, sometimes like you were saying Bhaja, Radha Krishna, sometimes people add. We also sing Ivajayo. Iva is not
Kibajayo. Kibajayo is a proper word.
Kiva.
Sometimes people ignore Kiba, ka.
Kiba.
Kiba Jayo, huh? So in Bengali, and
Yeah.
I'm not a Bengali, but Kiba has to be there. And sometimes people ignore that actually. That's also wrong. Huh? So one example is for adding something, one example is for removing something. So Kiba Jayo. So every line is preceded by a word Kiba. And now Avatar Prabhu can translate that. I don't know if he knows. Anyway, I've read in Hindi it says Kiba Jayo. So every line should have that. Is
In
that
the
okay, Mata?
Vaishnav songbook, it doesn't say Kiba, so I was just
Oh, is
asking.
it? Or
Yeah.
if you look at actual Devanagari transcript, you'll find it, Mataji. So if you look in Hindi, because I don't read Bengali, so I can't say that. But if you read in Hindi, you'll find that. Mata. If you go to Vrindavan, in the Aarti, because they hang the Aarti lyrics, so you'll see Kiba, Kiba, Kiba in each line. So and the last line says Kiba Shiva. So Kiva is separate, Shiva is separate. Sometimes you see Shiva Shiva Shukanarada. Actually, it's Kiba Shiva hai. Kiba is preceded every line of that arti. Okay. You try to find a Hindi script, you will find that word there. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu, on this Gnana Karma, the Anavritam only. Like in Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka which emphasizes, I think it says, Gnanavan Mam
Prapadate
Prapadyate.
Vasteva Saranti Samatma Sloka.
Janmanam.
Yeah.
So if the
719.
knowledge is about Krishna,
Yes.
is that considered as the pure bhakti only? I mean, if it's not about anything else,
Yes.
it's
So
only trying to
Gyanvan.
know.
Yeah, so the word says, bro, you have given the answer. Gyanvan mam prapadyate. So gyani is when they prapadya, when they surrender to Krishna, considering Vasudeva surrender. Vasudeva is everything. Then that's very good. So when gyani is surrender, and that's the culmination of Gyan yogas. And there's another verse in 646 and 647. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana. So of the yogis I'm the topmost, of the jnanis I'm the topmost, in karmis I'm the topmost. So everything will culminate or should culminate in Krishna consciousness. If that doesn't happen, Krishna consciousness simply means love for Krishna, attachment for Krishna. If that doesn't happen, Shrama eva hi kevalam. You may be the best jnani, best karmi, best yogi. Shrama eva hi. It's all labor, just extraneous labor which has no meaning. Now, in an ideal sense, every name you have taken of Krishna will definitely give you eternal benefit. There's no doubt about it. But again, you're reaching the goal very, very slow. Okay, Satyabama Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry for asking silly question, Prabhu.
No question is silly, Mataji.
Prabhu, when you mentioned about the Shraddha ceremony, like, the devotees doesn't have to do it.
Pure devotees
Pure.
doesn't have to do is.
Okay.
Devotees, when you say devotees, we consider we as a sadhakas, where we are WIP, work in progress, we should do it. Because it's beneficial, as Mahavasu Prabhu explained, in Krishna conscious way, obviously. In Gaya also, I'm not sure whether you have been, I've also not been, but I've heard in classes, there's a Vishnu Charan there, the lotus feet of Vishnu. So those pandas, and this I've heard in a class, those pandas are offering, say, your fruits or flowers, whatever, to that Vishnu pad, to the lotus feet of Vishnu, and then they offer to the Pitras. And this speaker was saying in the class, that we do every day in the home, isn't it? Every day, 3 times a day, you offer everything to Krishna, isn't it? So he's saying we don't have to go to Gaya. Again, you understand the pure devotee versus a sadhaka.
Yes.
So, because
So,
you're doing that every day, you're offering even your car, your house, your everything you offer, your books to Krishna. So, but what happens in normal case, people don't do that on a regular basis. So therefore, Shraddha, they travel all the way to Gaya and then they offer that to Lord Vishnu. And then with that prasad, Pitaras get liberated, which is true. There's nothing like no doubt about it. It's Vishnu Prasad. But what Maharaj was saying in the class, but that activity we do at home every single day. So why our Pitaras will not be liberated? That was his point. Huh?
so does that mean, Prabhu, like, my question is like, yes, we are offering it to Krishna every day. We are doing everything. But when the Shraddha ceremony is there and when we are offering it to Pitras, like, does the pure devotee, they offer it to Krishna, but how does it automatically go to Pitras as well? Or how does the
Tasmin
need?
tushte jagat tushta. That's what Prabhupada said many times. If you satisfy Krishna, you don't have to satisfy the whole planet. Yatha taror mool nishechanena. Bhagavatam says, as you water the root of the tree, the
Yes.
whole tree get nourished. So Pitras, Devatas, all the jivas get satisfied with that one offering to Krishna of a pure devotee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you don't
Thank
have to separately say this word. Okay, then Krishna will read your mind. Krishna knows everything. He's sitting in your heart. So a pure devotee can do anything and can benefit. It says Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Vaishnav Sarabham Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He was, if I'm not wrong, 140 years old. He was the Guru Maharaj of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to carry Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj in a palanquin, basically. Huh? What do you call it, which you take at the back? I can't remember the exact word. Anyway, so he will take the Babaji in a basket and he'll put the basket on his back and then he will walk. He will take his Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj could not walk. 141-year-old man. How can he walk? But it says he, by his chanting Hare Krishna, by sitting at one place, he was purifying the whole world. One man chanting Hare Krishna, you'll say, what change will it happen? But he's saying this one man is so pure in chanting, he was purifying the whole world. We read in Bhagavatam in the beginning, Rishis of Naimisharanya, 88,000 sages have assembled here to do a yajna for 1,000 years for the benefit of humanity. In Badrikashram, it says even today, Vyasadeva is there. Many sages are doing tapasya for the benefit. Narayan Rishi doing tapasya for the benefit of humanity. It's they're saying we are doing so much sinful activity. If they don't do tapasya, the dhara, the Vasundhara will just fall down actually because of so much cow killing is happening and so many other nasty things are happening. But because of their tapasya, they are holding us. So Rishi's tapasya is very, very important. So, sorry, coming back to your question, a pure devotee doesn't have to separately take the name. For example, one Guru Maharaj in ISKCON as well, he has 50,000 disciples. And materially, we can't understand all this, right? How will he even remember the name? But spiritually, he Krishna knows. Huh? This soul is connected to this great soul, and this soul will get benefit just because this great soul is there. So yeah, on material platform we don't understand, but spiritual platform, yes, just by his chanting Hare Krishna, not even offering some food stuff to Krishna, Krishna will fully satisfied.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, long answer.
Thank you.
But this is the power of pure devotion. And as we gave the example of Prabhupada as well, sitting in Tompkinson Square Park and chanting Hare Krishna. One old man sitting under a tree, something which no one even understands what he's chanting. But he started the whole worldwide movement just based on that chanting Hare Krishna. Purity. And that's why I said purity is the force. And that's where we lack at the moment, at least. Okay. All good? Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mata. Okay, so we understand Jnana Karma Dhyanavartam. So bhakti is not Jnana Karma Shunya, but Anya Abhilashita Shunya is there. Huh? There's no compromise. No compromise. Huh? And occasionally, when you have a desire to protect yourself or to protect your family, that's not a contamination. As far as that's not a tendency. Tendency means I'm going to Krishna, I'm saying something, but I mean something else. Huh? So, generally speaking, we can say in our community, because of Prabhupada books and teachings, we don't have that tendency anymore. But sometime, occasionally, some problems may come, and you can ask Gopinath if you desire. So you can resolve it. Otherwise, whatever. So that surrender is also there. Yes, Sanjay Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have a question on Anya Abhilashita. You've sort of answered this, but I just wanted to clarify it in this structure. In one of the prior classes, I've heard this, but I haven't read it anywhere in an authorized way, that Anya Abhilashita, the word ita means except in life-threatening circumstances. So, I mean, you gave the example of Draupadi, but if I use another example, is this correct? That, for example, Gajendra called
Yes.
out to the Lord in life-threatening circumstance, even
Yep.
though,
Yep,
so
that's correct.
he performed pure devotional service.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
it also says initially Gajendra's prayer says, "Oh Lord, please protect me," and later says, "Lord, don't protect. I don't want this body." Gajendra says in his prayers. So initially he may had the desire, "Lord should come and protect me." Me means my body, right? Later in the same prayers he says, "I don't want this body actually. You know, this body is an obstruction in the association of devotees." Same happened to Dhruv Maharaj. Initially he had desire for money, initially, but later on he's purified. He says. Kachan Vichinman. I was looking for broken piece of glasses, but now after having your darshan, Swami Katartho, Varam na yache. Swami Kritartho, I'm completely satisfied. Varam na yache. I don't want any vara. I don't want any boon. Huh? So that happens. That happens in the
So,
journey.
Prabhuji, if we were to pray in for our protection, then that's
In
okay.
extreme situation.
That's allowed.
In extreme situation. Yeah. That should
In
not be your
extreme situation,
tendency. As I said,
life-threatening
the tendency
circumstances.
should not be there. Tendency
Yeah.
means you keep leaning. Suppose a money-making person will keep leaning towards, how can I earn money? How can I earn money? A person who's looking, is Bhagavatam example or Padma Puran example, that a person looking for opposite gender, he will always be talking about that. A person who's trying to make money is always be talking about that. Huh? So that means his tendencies are like that. But the devotee's tendencies are not like that. In some situations, they can say, Krishna, if you desire, so please do resolve this situation which is happening in my life. Yeah. So that is the difference between Abhilasha and Abhilashita. Motive, tendency, that should not be there. Huh? But some occasional desire in that sense, it's fine. Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because Krishna is a very loving God. Huh? He's a very, very loving God. And my Guru Maharaj was saying he's not a fault finder God. He's not trying to, oh, in 1973, one day you came to my temple and asked something for your family, so your bhakti is. No, no, he's a very loving God, very understanding God. Huh? He understands. It's Kali Yuga, living in Sydney. Life is already so difficult. Huh? Very, very nice, sweet God. Okay. Now, Rupa Goswami, what he does, he substantiates whatever he has said with his senior's definition. Who is his senior? In this case, Narad Muni. Huh? So not only he gives, okay, I am an authorized person. No, no, he's saying, whatever I have said, let's look at Narad Muni, what he's saying. So Narad Muni, as we know, has written something called Narad Pancharatra, and you can see the verses. This is also mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, CC Madhya 19:170. So this verse, same verse as it is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami as well as Rupa Goswami. So after giving his definition, 1.1.11, in 1.1.12, just the next one, he says, look at the Narad Muni's definition. So we'll read Narad Muni's definition, we'll do some comparisons. So Narad Muni says, this is by Narad Muni, Sarvopadhi Vinurmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishi Kena Rishi Kesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. So let's see. Sarva Upadhi Vinurmuktam. It's a very simple Hindi word. Upadhi means I'm American, I'm Australian, I'm Indian, I'm a scientist, I'm a IT specialist, blah, blah, blah. So he's saying Sarva Upadhi Vinurmuktam. I'm a man, I'm a rich person, I'm a beautiful person, I'm a good, whatever skills I may have. Vinurmuktam, you have to get out of all these upadhis because these upadhis belong to whom? Body. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Naham Varni, I do not belong to any Varna or Ashrama. I'm not a sannyasi. He's a sannyasi, externally speaking, but he's saying, I'm not a sannyasi. I'm not a Vanaprasthi. I'm not a Grahastha. I'm not a Brahmachari. I do not belong to any Varna or Ashrama. What is my identity? I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Gopi Pad Kamleyor Bhartun Dasanu Dasanu Dasa. This is my identity. So Narad Muni is saying the similar thing. Sarva Upadhi Vinurmaktam, free from all kinds of material designations. Now, is ego a right word or a wrong word? Who can say? Binay Prabhu, Bhajay Gauranga Prabhu. Is ego right or wrong?
Is wrong, Prabhuji.
Wrong. Okay, that's it. Shraddha Mata,
Prabhuji, in material sense, it's wrong. In spiritual sense, it's good.
how?
Prabhu,
How? Can you please?
like, so when the self-realized soul knows the relationship and knows his identity towards Krishna, then it's perfect. It's wonderful. But in
Thank you.
material sense, it's wrong.
They're all devotees, huh? Pakka devotees. So ego itself is not. Ego means identification. So if you identify yourself, I am the servant of Krishna. Now you identify, I am the president of this country. I am the IAS, PCS, this and that. You become very proud. But when you say you are Harijan, now in India the Harijan is misused, but Harijan means Harika Jan. Huh? That is a big designation because Hari loves you. Huh? Hari will protect you. So when we are devotees of Lord, we should be so proud. Prabhupada even said we should get paid actually. Prabhupada said that. We should get paid because we are doing the best social service. Best social service, huh? Anyway, that's a separate topic altogether. But the point here is when you are a devotee, as Mataji said, we have the best ego. This is called real ego. Huh? So ego will definitely be there. You're servant of Krishna, servant of Maya. Huh? So when you say, when you're servant of Maya, then we say ego is wrong. And that's called a false ego. Why is false ego? Because temporary. Your body is temporary. Your designation is temporary. Your male, female, American, Indian, that's all temporary. And then when you based your ego on that, that's a stupid thing. But that's temporary. You're sitting on a Pradhan Mantri chair today, tomorrow it will go. So that's not very intelligent. But when you say, I'm Krishna Bhakta, is that a temporary situation or a permanent situation? That's a permanent situation, huh? Unless you come under the grip of Maya again, but Krishna will pull you back if you have a shikha. Like Ajamil, huh? Ajamil was a devotee, Jiva Goswami says. Ajamil was a devotee, he got distracted. Krishna pulled him back through the association of devotees. It happens with all of us. Huh? Even if you run away, Keshav Maharaj, keeps saying, you can't get out. It's like a mafia because you know too much now. Amrendra Prabhu was telling in one class, in humor, he was saying, when you're sitting in the temple, the movie scenes may not come in your mind. But if you go to a movie, then Krishna conscious scene will definitely come in your mind. Huh? I'm wasting my time. I should not watch. I should not watch. He said it will become hell if you're watching a movie. So although you may try to enjoy because you know too much now, Krishna will pull you back, pull you back. He will make arrangements. Sometime in the movie theater, somebody will say, Hare Krishna Prabhu. You say, Bhagwan, I thought no one will catch me. Here is another person catching me. One person was telling Patri Prabhu, some of you may know, a very, very nice person. He lives in Vrindavan. Anyway, he went to a casino for a book distribution, long story short. So he was chanting Hare Krishna from the top, and he saw few people who come to temple was present in the casino. They were hiding their face from Patri Prabhu because they used to come to temple as well. But in the New Year night, they went to casino or some nightclub. And he was a Patri Prabhu said, all these persons, they come to temple and tonight they are in a nightclub. Anyway, so the point is, when you know a few things about Krishna, you cannot live in peace without Krishna. When you come with Krishna, Krishna Das, Bindas, Maya Das, Sada Udas. Okay, so Sarvopadi Vinurvaktam Tat Paratvena, the translation given is by the sole purpose of serving the Supreme Personality of God. There is no other motive behind this seva. I will get name, I will get fame, my health will be better, wealth will be better, nothing like that. Sole purpose of serving him. Serving means, as Radhanath Maharaj says, pleasure of that person. If I am serving my friend, my service should be giving pleasure to my friend, isn't it? Not giving pleasure to me. Many times we serve to get ourselves the pleasure. And Maharaj said, that's not service. The service means you should give pleasure. If someone likes mango and I present him Karela sabji, that will be a service or a disservice to that person. You say, bhai, khane pe bulaya aur Karela khila rahe ho. Suppose he doesn't like Karela. So it will be a disservice to that person. So you serve him as per his desire. But at the same time, Radha Govind Maharaj gives an example. Some person came to his house, it was raining. So they invited him in his house, they offered him prasadam when he was very young. He tells the story. And after the prasad, he said, can you give me bidi, smoking? And Radha Govind Maharaj said he was a kid that time. He said, we were from Vaishnava family, we never had all this. And then he started abusing the family. Why did you invite me for lunch? If you can't give me bidi, everything is waste. Maharaj was like, so you cannot go out of when we are comparing some sabjis or fruits, that's all right. But if someone is asking non-Krishna conscious thing, then you said like Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So Maharaj was giving, so your guest may demand something unreasonable, then you don't have to attend to those demands. Okay, Nirmalam, uncontaminated. Anyone can compare the word Nirmalam with the Rupa Goswami's definition of 1111? Which word compares with Nirmalam? Uncontaminated. Okay, we'll read that in a second. Hrishikena, by the purified senses, free from all designation. Hrishikesha means the Lord of the senses. Isha means the master, Hishi means senses. So Hishikena means from our senses, you serve the master of senses. Then our senses becomes pleased. What happens from our senses when we serve Maya? We neither please Krishna, nor please Maya, nor please ourselves. One devotee was saying in a class, he's saying, our senses are designed not to get ever satisfied. Sorry to say, I'll repeat again. Our senses are designed to not get ever satisfied. Food, drink, sleeping, sense gratification. You may feel satiated for those moments. After 1 day or 2 days, the desire will pop up again in your mind, isn't it? It happens. It happens. Huh? So he's saying it's a wrong design. So do not try to satisfy your senses. Huh? It's a wrong design. Huh? It's just made up like that. So every second day, third day, fourth day, the desire will again come again and again and again because it's a wrong design. So he's saying, do not try to do that even. Sevanam, to service, the service to satisfy the senses. Bhakti, devotional service, Uchate is called. Okay, let's read the actual translation. Bhakti is defined as service to the Lord using the senses. That means the jiva senses. It should be done with the intention of pleasing the Lord, free from other desires and unobstructed by other processes. Now let's see a simple parallel of these two, 1111, 1112. So Anya Vilashta Shunyam, here Sarvopadi Vinurmaktam. He's saying divide of all other desires, saying free from all material designations. Same thing. Anukulyene, Rupa Goswami says should be favorable. He's saying Tat Paratvene, taking him as the highest object. Anushilnam, cultivation, here is saying Sevnam, service. Same thing. Gyan Karmadhyanavratam, that is paralleled with Nirmalam, faultless. So these two verses are actually exactly same. So Rupa Goswami's definition of bhakti is exactly same as what Narada Muni is given. So it's very, very perfect. Now let's conclude this discussion. What are the 5 points which Prabhupada concludes this definition from? So Rupa Goswami definition of Uttam Bhakti is perfect. Now this is not just perfect in 1500th century, not in 1600th. It's perfect means all time, place and circumstances. Each word is so precise and exact that once we understand it, we cannot mistake anything else for pure devotional service. There's nothing is sort of excluded here. His definition neither overly exclusive, not overly inclusive. Like when he said word Krishna, so we did not say all the expansion of Krishna. We said only personal expansions of Krishna, Vishnu Tattvas. It applies perfectly to all stages of devotion, from the neophyte stages of practice to the exalted stages of Prema Bhakti. The entire content of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is based upon this scientific definition. Why the word scientific is used? Because it can be scientifically, experimentally done in a proper way. You must get the result. You must get the result. The result is verifiable and repeatable. That's the definition of science, they say. Result should be verified by anyone else, and the process should be repeatable. So this process is repeatable. Why? Even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4.10, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mang Pashita Bhavo Gyan Tapasa Puta Mad Bhavam Agataha Bhavo Gyan Tapasa. Many devotees have been purified by this process in the past and currently as well. So Bhagavatam is consistent, Bhagavad Gita is consistent. There's no upgrade to Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago. It's exactly same as we see today. There's no upgrade in that because it's perfect. So whole Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is based upon this scientific definition of pure devotion service, and that's why this verse of BRS is known as Paribhasha Sutra. Okay, I'll stop here for a second. If anyone has a question or comment, we'll take that. Okay, now from this point onwards, we have finished the introduction, which I ideally wanted to finish last week, but we couldn't. So now we are entering into chapter 1 of Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Oh, okay. One more thing is left. Let's do that as well. So, what are the different types of Uttama Bhakti? Now we know the definition of Uttama Bhakti. What are different types of Uttama Bhakti? So, Rupa Goswami says there can be 3 types, and we'll read about them. Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. So, sadhana means, anyone can translate? Devotional service in practice. Whatever we are practicing, we don't have a spontaneous attraction as yet. At least I can talk about myself. But we are practicing. We are practicing for that purpose. So that's called sadhana bhakti. Bhava bhakti, devotional service in ecstasy. And prema bhakti means love of God. So the comparison given by our acharyas is sadhana bhakti is like a little bud which is not blossomed as yet. Suppose a gulab ki kali, a rose bud, is still a rose but is not blossomed as yet. So that bud is known as sadhana bhakti. Has all the characteristics but has not blossomed as yet. Bhava Bhakti, the bud is little opening now. You can see little flower coming up. It's not fully blossomed as yet. And Prema Bhakti is a fully blossomed flower. Fully blossomed flower. So this is how our journey will become. So right now we are in the first stage, most of us at least. So we are in that buddy state. Then we, sorry, I use the word buddy, which is true actually. Buddy, we need buddies. We need mentors. We need guides. And then Bhava Bhakti, we will have some spontaneous attraction towards Krishna. May not be exact 100%, but you can see the Suryas coming in the sky. Although you have not seen the sun, but you can see the sun is just coming. You can see the sky is whitish now, reddish now. And Prema Bhakti is the 100% fully blossomed flower of your Prema towards Krishna. Okay. Now I'll just come back to this page because this is sort of a base page. So we have been reading this first wave so far. So first wave, which was the introduction, which we just finished. So we read 3 things. Overview of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We also did Mangalacharan, and we did the definition of pure devotion service. Now we're going to read chapter 1, which is the 6 characteristics of pure devotion service. My plan is to finish this chapter 1 today and next week, so that we can finish the first wave, and then when we come back in New Year, we'll start from the second wave, which is Sadhana Bhakti. So now we are entering into chapter 1. Chapter 1 is talking about 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. So what did we read just now? That was the definition of pure devotional service. What's the definition? How do you define it's a pure devotional service? Now we're going to read what are the 6 characteristics. What happens if you do pure devotional service? Everyone wants falashruti. Mujhe kya milega? You hear Putana Katha or Bakasur Katha or all those kathas. So at the end, Shukdev Goswami gives the falashruti. So what will happen? What will you perceive right now? What you should expect to perceive in future if you practice pure devotional service? So what will happen in Sadhana Bhakti? What will happen in Bhava Bhakti? What will happen in Prema Bhakti? So that's what this whole chapter is about. Beautiful chapter. Now these 2 things of NOD is extremely popular. Anya Vilashita Shunyam verse, and you'll see 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. Now I've put the verses here from BRS. Prabhupada has taken 1:113. So we read 1:111, right? That was the pure devotional. 1:112 is Narad Muni's definition of pure devotional service. Now 1:113 to 1:143. So around 31 verses are covered to explain 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. So we are going to read 31 verses in chapter 1. Okay, so we'll quickly read this characteristics. Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Lagutakrat Sudurlubha Sandra Nanda Visheshatma Shri Krishna Akarshani Cha Sa. There are 6 things there. We'll read one by one. So Kleshagni, I'll just read the meaning as it is now, and we'll grab each component in future slides. Kleshagni reduces or nullifies all kinds of suffering. Shubhada, Shubha word is, everyone knows that, all auspicious. Moksha Lagutakrat, again a very simple word. Moksha means liberation, which is considered very, very high by some groups at least. Lagutakrat, it derides the liberation. Sudurlabha, so Durlabh means very rare. Anyone remembers a verse in Bhagavad Gita which has Sudurlabha? Everyone knows that one.
Mahatma Sudurlabha.
Can you chant the whole verse?
Bhunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavanam Papoddate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Mahatma Sudurlabha.
Number? Sorry.
7-9.
Thank you, Mohit Prabhuji. Now he knows all the verses. Very good. Sandra Nanda Vishesh Atma. So Anand, the word is there. Sandra means concentrated bliss. So devotional service is not like a flickering movie happiness or a cricket match happiness. For 1 hour or 2 hours, you're very, very happy. You're repeating that Sachin Tendulkar, same postures and all that. Is Sandra Nanda Vishesh Atma, very condensed bliss. We'll talk about it. Shri Krishna Akarshani, pure devotional service attracts even Krishna. Now, how can you attract Krishna? Krishna is Bhagavan. What's the definition of Bhagavan? Who has 6 bhagas. What are the 6 bhagas Krishna has? Let's count very quickly. Who can say one?
Aishwarya.
Aishwarya means Mataji? Bollywood actress?
Opulence.
Opulence. Opulence means power. Power. Krishna is the supreme powerful person. Yes, more?
All attractive.
Power or position, you can also say. Yes, Mohit Prabhu, all
All
attractive.
attractive.
Hang on a second.
Opulent.
Okay, another one. So Mataji said one. Sorry.
Renunciation.
Renunciation, Vairagya, thank you. Vairagya means he is detached from everything. It says the queens of Dwarka is like in front of Apsaras. Apsaras will get ashamed in coming in front of the queens of Dwarka, and Krishna is completely detached. Thank you, Mataji.
Strength.
Is strength Bala? Who can
All
be
strength.
more Balwan than Krishna himself? Narsingadev, for example. The best example. Yes.
All
another?
fame, Prabhu. All fame.
Fame. Who is the most famous? Example, Mataji. Krishna Vallabha Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
I'm trying to give examples as well. So fame.
Yes.
Who is the most famous? Sri Ram.
Most-
Sri Ram. It says Sri Ram's fame sometimes even beats Krishna's fame. Vairagya. Sorry, did not give the example. Vairagya. Who gives the example? Priya Mataji. Vairagya, you said that opulence. Who is the example of that Vairagya?
Krishna.
I think is
No, Krishna is
able to
everything,
be-
Mohit Prabhu. Yes. Yes. Yes, Mata.
Oh no, I said in the context because he's a chariot driver of Arjuna, so being
Nar Narayan Rishi are considered the best example of Vairagya. Thank you, Mataji. And Mridula Mataji, what did you say initially?
It's Aishwarya.
Aishwarya. Who's the example of Aishwarya? Narayan.
Dwarka.
Narayan has the most Aishwarya, isn't it?
Yeah. Lakshmi ji.
Aishwarya. So that's I'll just repeat the word. Aishwarya samagrasya. What's the next one, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu? Aishwarya samagrasya.
Veerasya yashasashya.
Veerasya yashasya Gyan Vairagya.
Gyan vairagyasya chaiva bhagashin
Dingana. Okay, something like that. I'm missing few words there. Anyway, we understand that. So Aishwarya samagrasya. And someone says, just now someone said something else.
Wealth, Prabhu.
Wealth. Who is the topmost in wealth?
Narayan again.
Narayan again. Okay, Narayan has the most wealth. Okay, then did we say Gyan?
Yes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Who's the topmost in Jnana?
Krishna.
No,
Bhagavad
Krishna is
Gita.
there, but we are talking different expansions of Krishna. So we can't just say Krishna.
I agree, Dr.
No, I'm also
Vyas
trying to.
Bhagavan is also incarnation
I
of
think it's
Krishna.
Kapiladev, considered the best one in
Kapiladev.
Jnana. Kapildev is in Jnana. So Jnana, Vairagya, yes, Shopi, Sannam Bhagidingana. Which one is we are leaving one? Did we cover all 6, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu?
Beauty.
Renunciation.
Beauty, Prabhu. Beauty.
Beauty, thank you. Beauty, Shri. Shri is very important, Beauty. Who is the topmost in beauty? Which
That's Krishna.
Krishna.
which form of Krishna we are talking? Which form of Krishna?
Ram Bhagavan.
Mohini Murti.
Mohini.
Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti is the topmost because Mohini could attract even Lord Shiva. So attractive form. Like Lord Shiva is the best example of Dhira. Prabhupada says he's the best example. Even the Parvati came and tried to agitate Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva could not be agitated by his own wife, but by Mohini Murti, he got attracted. So Mohini Murti, Shri, itna sundar hai wo, so much beautiful that even Lord Shiva get adhira.
Is it not Madan Mohan?
That we're talking now, not Krishna here. Now we're talking different expansions of Krishna here. Yes, that's a Sambandha deity, Madan Mohan. And then we can say Madan Mohan Mohini as well. But in this verse, we are just taking one example. This is given by Keshav Maharaj actually.
Prabhu, who is the example for strength, Prabhu?
It's Narsingadev. Narsingadev, his strength is, Hiranyakashipu's body says even the Vajra, which is the best weapon in this material world, best weapon, could not make a one scratch on the body, on the skin of Hiranyakashipu. That was his body. And that body, Narsingadev just used his nails. Nakham, Adbhuta Shringa, just by the nails, he ripped his body apart. Imagine the strength of the power of the nails of Narsingadev, much higher than Vajra. Vajra could not even make a scratch, and he just ripped apart. And he didn't have to, use the best bala. Just went like that, Otherwise, sometimes you someone lifting 100 kilos, holding it just for 3 seconds and dropping it down. Narsingadev, just put him on his lap, just ripped his intestines apart. That is Bala is Narsingadev. Okay. So Sri Krishna. So now my point was, I did not think about all these things before, but the point is you cannot attract Krishna with all these 6 bhagas. For some people in this material world, if you have more wealth, if you have more beauty, you can attract others. More gyan you can attract. But you cannot attract Krishna. In front of Krishna, how much gyan you have? Not even 0.0001. How much beauty you have? How much bala you have? You have nothing actually. You may impress some people, some few thousand people. You may make few thousand followers. But can you impress Krishna? Like if, what is his name? Ambani family comes in front of you and you show him $10. Hey, look at this. I have $10. They will just laugh at you. They will laugh at you. So like that. If you know 50 verses of Bhagavad Gita and you say, Krishna, I know 50 verses. Krishna will just look at you, smile at you. Really? It's just like a kiddish proposal in front of Krishna. So you cannot impress Krishna. But how can you impress Krishna? With pure devotional service. With pure devotion, so we can attract Krishna with nothing else. So Sri Krishna Akarshani. This is the only thing by which you can bring the attention of Gopinath in your life, just by serving him purely. Okay, translation. The unique characteristics of bhakti are its ability to destroy suffering, its bestowal of the auspiciousness, its disregard for liberation, its rarity of attainments, manifestation of concentrated bliss, and its ability to attract Krishna. So these are the 6 characteristics which we're going to read today and in the next class. Okay, what are the unique qualities of bhakti? We'll just define each very quickly. Kleshagni. Now, klesha refers to suffering. Now, here, klesha is not taken as suffering. Kleshagni here refers to which destroys the suffering. Not only destroys the suffering, destroys the root of the suffering as well. Suppose a very simple example, a thief goes to a jail because he has stolen something, for example, right? So when he goes to jail, he finishes his sentence of say 6 months, for example, he comes back. Is the sin is nullified now? Yes, right? Because he has gone to the jail and has done 6 months. But is the tendency still there? Yes, because when he comes back, generally we see, they want to steal again and then they go back to jail again. The tendency many times is not destroyed. So, but what bhakti does is does not destroy the distresses, but destroys the cause which causes the distress. So bhakti is a complete package. Got kleshagni. Pure devotion bring immediate. Now, the word immediate is very important. We'll read about it. From all kinds of material distress. Shubhadha. Shubh means auspicious. This pure devotion service is the beginning of all auspiciousness. We'll see what are the 4 things which has to be there for someone to call or something to be called as Shubhadha. All auspicious. There can be some auspicious things at certain stage of life, but this bhakti is all auspicious. Moksha Lamtakra, those in pure devotion service deride even the conception of liberation, not only the liberation, even the conception. If you remember, I think it was Sarvam Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Charitamrita, which started using word, he will avoid using even word mukti. So whichever verses in Bhagavatam, there's a verse given, I can't remember. In Bhagavatam, the verse says word mukti, and he will not even utter the word mukti. He said, I hate this word so much, I don't want to even utter word mukti. He said, I just want to utter word bhakti. So they don't want the mukti, they say, they even deride the conception of liberation. And we'll see with the Praman. Sudurlabha, pure devotion service is rarely attained. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Even Krishna is saying that actually. Krishna is saying that Mahatma, that devotee, pure devotee, is not easily findable person. Very, very rare. Sandrananda Visheshatma. Incalculably. Look at the word here. You cannot calculate. How much bliss you will get in bhakti, you'll get, okay, you cannot say, okay, 10 ton of sukha, 100 ton of sukha, incalculably condensed bliss. It says when Radharani sees Krishna, her bliss from the previous darshan increases million times. Same bliss increases of Krishna as well when he sees Srimati Radharani. And next time when they meet, the bliss increases a million times. And next time when they meet, bliss increases a million times. It's just incalculably. You cannot calculate that how much bliss Radharani is feeling or Krishna is feeling. And he says, Manjari, who assists Srimati Radharani, get million times more bliss than Srimati Radharani. And imagine the servants of Manjaris, which we are supposed to be, at least. So we get so much bliss in serving the Lord. Last, pure devotion service is the only means. See, the word only means, by no other means you can attract Krishna. Okay, let's start. Okay, before we start, there's a little chart which is very beautiful. It explains how these qualities will be manifested in the life of a sadhaka, in the life of a person who has bhava, in the life of a person who has prema. So let's read this carefully. It's very nice. So in sadhana stage, two qualities, two characteristics will manifest in your life straight away. Kleshagni and Shubhada. So some material stress will go down, some Shubhada, some auspiciousness will come in your life immediately. And we'll talk about this just after a few slides. In Bhava stage, you see the color is also changing on the screen. In Kleshagni, you saw a little light blue. Here you see a little darker blue. Light green for Shubhada, darker green for Shubhada. That means the intensity of that characteristic increases. So Kleshagni in the sadhaka stage, so some material distress will go, but not all of it. And we'll explain why as well. Prabhupada explains that. Some material stress will go straight away. In bhava stage, majority of the stress will go. In sadhana stage, some auspiciousness you will feel immediately. In bhava stage, you will feel even more auspiciousness. And two more characteristics will start getting manifested in bhava stage, which is like a half open flower, moksha lagtakrat. Now that you will not experience in sadhana stage. Sadhana stage as a sadhaka, you will not have experience of deriding the conception of liberation. You'll not have sudurlava. Here we are struggling to finish our rounds, struggling to get up for Mangala Aarti, struggling to do all these things which are basic. But in bhava stage, you will start experiencing two more characteristics. Moksha lagtakrat. If someone asks, do you want moksha? At the moment, if someone is asked, like, someday you really feel like, kab chutkara milega? Why this material world is so tough? Anyone feels sometime like that, or it's only me? You're all pure devotees. Feel sometime, why this material world is so tough. So the simple definition is Krishna makes this like this so that we don't get attached. My Guru Maharaj used to say, so you don't get oversettled here. If sab kuch acha acha hai, you don't want to go back. So Krishna, keeps picking you sometimes and say, Bhai, chalo. It says Durga ji is trident. What does it represent? Adi Devik misery, Adi Bhautik misery, Adhyatmic misery. And she's saying, go back to Godhead, go back to Godhead, go back to Godhead. And we are taking all the Trishul, we still think, this material world is so nice because India defeated Pakistan or something like that. It is so nice. Life is so much fun. Life is not fun. Not fun, especially these days. It's tough, but it has a reason to be tough. And Krishna has arranged that lovingly for us. It says Krishna is a tough lover. Tough lover means, sometimes we are having so much difficulty and you say, Krishna, you are doing this Rasa Leela here. We are suffering like anything. So, no, Krishna is actually very kind. Bit hard to understand. Anyway, Prema. In Prema, you see the color has intensified for all the stages. So Kleshagni, 100%. All the suffering and their causes will go away. Shubhata, 100% auspiciousness you will feel in your life and in others. And we'll read each aspect of it. Moksha Lagtakrat, again, 100%. No way. No way. So in sadhaka stage, you may have some desire because of so much distress in the world. Bhava stage, yeah, almost there. Prema, no way. We'll read that. Sudurlabha, same thing. And two last characteristics get manifested in this stage of prema, which is Sandharananda Visheshatma, Sri Krishna. You start attracting Krishna at the stage of prema. It says the minimum entry requirement for Goloka is, anyone knows? What's the minimum entry requirement? Not the maximum, minimum.
Prema.
Prema.
Prema. See, Mataji got Prema, so that's why she said, I already got it. You got Prema, that means you got the visa for Vaikuntha. So I don't have, I'm still in the queue. Many of you have, and I wish you all the good luck. Get Prema. That's a minimum entry requirement to enter into Vaikuntha. So it's not that easy. Okay, everyone happy with this? So let's move forward to the first characteristic, which is Kleshagni, very, very relevant to all the sadhakas. So what are the two characteristics happens in sadhana stage, Namavatar Prabhu? In sadhana stage.
Kleshagni
and Shubhada.
And Shubhada, yes.
Shubhada, okay. So we'll start from these two because they are the first two characteristics. So I'll read the Prabhupada definition first, then we can expand on it. So destruction of suffering and its causes. Now look at the wordings here. Destruction of suffering. Like, as I said, the example of a thief, he has to go to jail for 6 months sentence. So first, a Pradhan Mantri, a president comes, he says, okay, jail nahi jana padega. That's one thing, right? You don't have to go to jail to suffer that sentence of 6 months. Another one, he says, even the cause of that suffering. What is the cause? His desire, his propensity to steal. That I will remove as well. Isn't it? There are two aspects. One is the immediate suffering. One is the cause of the suffering. Now, by doing bhakti, is saying destruction of two things. Not only the suffering, but the root of suffering as well. Huh? Sometimes, you cut the grass and when the rain comes, grass goes back again. Huh? Because the root is still there. The seed is still there. The literal meaning of klesha is suffering. Huh? As we know, adhyatmic klesha we say. Huh? The klesha is suffering, but here is used in a different perspective. Suffering or affliction, but here the meaning may be taken as the causes of the suffering. These kleshas are the cause of sinful and pious activities. So you can say klesha is the cause of pious activity. Yes, that's called mode of goodness, and mode of goodness is also binding in the material world. Prabhupada said there's a class jail, B class jail, C class jail. So if you go from passion to goodness, you're still in the jail because you still have golden chains, Prabhupada said. So you may have silver chains or you may have iron chains. Iron chains is like mode of ignorance. Silver chains is mode of passion, and golden chains, but you are still bound in the material world. So the cause of sinful and pious activity which result in material misfortune, so-called misfortune, or good fortune, material happiness. Ei bhalo, ei manda, ei sabhrama. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, ei bhalo. Now Prabhu is happy. Bhalo, bhalo. Bhalo means happiness. Kemno ache, bhalo ache. Something like that they say. Bhalo means good.
Good.
Ei bhalo.
Yeah, it means good, bro.
Good. Yeah. Ei bhalo. ये अच्छा है. Ei manda. Manda means बुरा है. Ei bhalo, ei manda. Ei sabhrama. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, this is all illusion. Even good is illusion, bad is illusion. Because suppose you get, you're sleeping, in your sleep, you get a lottery of 6,000 crore rupees. Will it be good, Shraddha Mataji? She's shy. Just say yes. सपने देखने में क्या जाता है?
Can be very dangerous, Prabhu.
Can be very dangerous. Shuddha Bhakta. Shuddha Bhakta. Anyway, just in a dream, I said. Now, once you got the lottery, and someone, now that Prabhu said, Prabhu, you got the lottery, same number, same number, same number. When you arrive to the shop to claim your prize, he said, one number was wrong. And you get a heart attack. I lost 6,000 crore rupees, right? But was there any gain in Sapna? At 3 o'clock, suppose the Sapna was at 3 a.m., you got $6,000, 6,000 crore dollars, $1 million. And at 4 o'clock, you realize one number in the lottery ticket was wrong. 4 a.m., you lost the money. So was 3 a.m. a gain? Yes or no? Was 3 a.m. a gain? No, it wasn't a dream. Was 4 p.m. a loss? It was also in dream. So you gained nothing, you lost nothing. But you became happy at 3 o'clock and you became very sad at 4 o'clock. This says life is also, third canto, Kapil Dev will say, life is also like the swapna. Sometimes we gain a higher position, huh? We become very powerful, we become very famous, we say, yay, got it, huh? And then you lose it, you go, hey Bhagwan, I want to commit suicide because I've lost everything. Huh? So in illusion, you got something, in illusion, you lost something. It's nothing to do with your soul. Nothing to do with your soul. People be going depression. But what is the depression about? You never had anything. Now you so-called lost it. So there is no loss, no gain. He said there's only one loss or gain, that is in relation to Krishna. Huh? So whatever bhakti you have performed, bhakti means a simple term. How much remembrance of Krishna you have done today, that's your benefit, that's your credit. Everything else is debit. So in 24 hours, you only remembered Krishna for 5 minutes. That's the credit in your account. And the rest 23 hours, 55 minutes is debit. It's gone. It's gone from your account, never to be come back. So credit and debit should only be based on bhakti, not for everything is an illusion. Not also I'm saying it, I have no realization, but it makes sense. It makes sense because it all belongs to the body. Okay. Now, klesha can be of 5 types. Now we have read that. I'll just quickly cover that. First is avidya. What's the cause of all these kleshas? Avidya, ignorance, isn't it? Ignorance of the identity. Because we identify ourselves with the body, and then body gain, body lose, something good or so-called bad happens with us. We become shaken. Pura sansar hil jata hai. Huh? Avidya, ignorance. To mistake, beautiful definition here, to mistake that which is impermanent to be permanent. All our gains and losses, they are impermanent. We consider them as permanent. पैसा आना चाहिए, जाना नहीं चाहिए. फेम आनी चाहिए, जानी नहीं चाहिए. जवानी आनी चाहिए, जानी नहीं चाहिए. सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का. सारा सुख, सारी संपत्ति, all the wealth and the fame and all the sukha of the world should come to me. Vijay Gopi Mata, you understand that? Maybe she's from South India. In North India, there's a famous Aarti we sing. So some lines are okay, but other lines are Sukha Sampati, all the Sukha and wealth and health should come to me. And any Kashta should go away. Kashta mite tanka. So that is called avidya actually. This avidya. Impermanent to end, to mistake, which is full of misery, to be blissful. It says in Bhagavatam 12th canto, Dukheshu Sukhmanina. People of Kali Yuga will consider Dukkha as Sukha. They're playing with pigs and they're enjoying it. They're paying ticket to play with pigs. We read that past time. Prabhupada was walking past and some disciples of Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, look at them. They're playing with pigs. In the next life, they will become pig. Prabhupada said, what in next life? They're already pigs. They're already pigs. They're playing with pigs. So, dukheshu sukhmanina. In dukkha, they drink alcohol and they vomit and what is called hang out or something. They're lying on a drainage somewhere and they feel very sukha, very sukha. Whole night they're awake like ullu, like owls, and they feel very sukha. Last night out was great. They take drugs and whatnot, all these nonsense substance they take. Dukheshu sukhmanina. I'm very sukhi. Hey, you Indians, you eat vegetables? You are so dukhi. Dukhi Krishna Das. I'm developed country. One man was telling me in my office, because India is a poor country, so they don't eat meat. Many people, we are from a developed country. That's their definition, Rich people eat meat. Poor people eat vegetables. You are poor. Okay. Dukheshu Sukhmanina. Okay, Krishna Vallabha Mataji.
Prabhu, I just had a general question. Just say, you were saying about, for example, Sukh Sampatti Gharave. The thing is, Prabhu, like in general, when we pray to Lord, we do pray that, give us healthy life, give us, or we shouldn't pray. I mean, do we pray? Should we pray? Or we shouldn't say anything? We should go and just, sing something nice or do something and just come home. We should not ask anything ever when we are
So
praying.
we just read the definition, Mataji. Anya Abhilashita Shunya. Anything except Krishna's service. No. So if you are suffering, so-called suffering, materially, body may be suffering, maybe other problems are happening. Generally, we don't say anything. We take, it says when the sukha comes, we take as the mercy of Lord. When dukkha comes, we take actually greater mercy of the Lord. Now, again, I'm saying I don't have that realization as yet, but again, these things make sense. But Charu Maharaj was telling in his one clip, When Sukha comes, a material person says, see, my credit, I worked very hard, and all the Sukha is coming, fame is coming. When Dukha coming, all due to this Krishna. ये जो बांसुरी वाला है ना, मुझे पसंद ही नहीं करता है. One mother was telling me, all the Dukha is because of Krishna. Basically, she was saying, in her own language, not so nice. So when dukkha comes, we blame God. When sukha comes, we take the credit. But Bhakti Charu Maharaj was saying, for a devotee, sukha is a blessing of Krishna. Dukkha is a greater blessing of Krishna. Thank you so much because you gave me the opportunity to remember you even more. So how kind you are. Now, as you said, we should not do anything. No, we should do 4 things when we go in front of Radha Gopinath. And Nadala Mataji will tell all the 4 things because we discussed in our house the other day. Oh, प्रभु ने अभी पूछ लिया. Try. What are the 4 things when we go in front of Radha Gopinath? No, we should not do anything. This is wrong. We should do those 4
We
things.
should do, yeah.
There are proper 4 ways given by our acharyas, which we should apply as much as possible when we go in front of Radha Gopinath. Mridula Mata, first step.
First step is we need to pay obeisances.
Oh, that is done. We're talking prayers.
Prayers.
Krishna Vallabha Mata question is about prayers.
We should think. We should say to Lord that I'm stupid.
No. That's Kittu's step 3rd one. Sorry.
That is the 3rd one, Prabhu.
That's the 3rd one.
That is
First
the
one.
3rd one.
Glorify the Lord.
Glorify the Lord.
Glorify the Lord. Lord, you are so kind. You are so great. You are so compassionate. You have given me so much. You have given me roof. You have given me roti, kapda, makan, everything. Everything. You are in the hospital. Pray. Thank you, Gopinath. Thank you. First thing is say thank you. Glorify the Lord. Second. So first you glorify. You can take Krishna Vallabha Mataji, any prayers of a devotee in Shastra. You can, and actually it's also said you should have your own prayers, later stages. Initially you copy. Copy means take Kunti Maharani prayers, take Gajendra prayers, and say you learn 2 prayers and glorification of the Lord, and you say, okay, second. So first is glorification. Second, actually you say thank you to the Lord. First is the glorification, how great you are. Second is the thank you to the Lord, that relates to you. Third, you say, I'm very stupid. I don't understand your mercy, to be honest. Many of us in that category, right? So sometimes the dukkha comes and we start at least looking at Krishna. Not in an angry way, but Krishna, aap ho ki nahi ho? Are you really there, Jagannath ji? Are you really looking at us? So much suffering is happening here. There's no response coming from you, So we don't realize the mercy. Actually, they are the greater portions of mercy of the Lord. Those days, those moments can immediately purify our consciousness, can increase our dependency on the Lord immediately in a very high jump. You can say, no, the graph goes very up. So that should be done. Third is we should say stupid. Stupid again means not in a literal sense. You can say, I can say, literally are. That I don't recognize your mercy. I don't recognize your mercy. So please give me strength to understand it. Fourth step, Radhila Mata. Then you can ask something in a humble way. Suppose some family member is in hospital or something, then again, Gopinath, if you desired, so maybe you can resolve this issue. That's the 4th step. So these 4 steps are told by Nitai Sevani Mataji in her class very nicely. So we should follow these 4 steps when we go in front of the Lord. And slowly you will see, you will start relating everything in your life, plus or minus, in those prayers. And then you will recognize more and more mercy in the negative moments than in the positive moments. Because positive moment में तो हम सब भूल जाते हैं. What's that verse in Hindi? सुख में दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोय. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, दुख काहे को होय. So everyone prays in dukha. No one prays in sukha. If you pray in sukha, then dukha will never come. The point here is you will not feel dukha as dukha. You will feel dukha also as sukha, because vipada shantata shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yat sad apunar bhav darshanam. Kunti Maharani is saying, please give me miseries again and again. Not that she's asking miseries. In miseries, when the Lord comes, Lord here means the memories of the Lord comes for us. Radha Gopinath physically will not walk for us, maybe for one of you. Generally, the memories of Gopinath will be with us, and we'll feel like, thank you, Krishna. Draupadi Vastraharan should happen again and again. Lakshagraha should happen again and again. Poisoning of Bhima should happen again and again, because with those miseries only we could remember you. And thus it says, Krishna did not save the son of Devaki Mata. which is her own mother. But Krishna saved the son of Kunti because Kunti was so helplessly dependent on the Lord. Every time, I have no one, Krishna, I have no one except you. Please. Then from that bottom of the heart, when the prayer comes, then Krishna says, "Chalo, ab thoda sa purification ho raha hai." Otherwise, when Maharaj was saying, one sannyasi in Sydney, ये घंटी घुमाने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Sorry, we should all ring the bell, but it's not to ring the bell, but just doing ritualistic duty, not good enough. When you cry, and when you will cry, when the dukkha will come. Sorry. Gauranga Prabhu adds a footnote there, and whenever he says this 1:825, Vipta Shanta Shasta, and he says, Lord Kunti is saying this, I am not saying this. Kunti Maharani is saying like that. Because most of us don't have that capacity even to repeat those prayers as it is. We don't. We may even say, but we don't mean it. We want sukha. Because that's the stage we are in. We are like kids. And sometimes we feel we are senior devotees. Really? Okay. Krishna Vallabha Mataji, is that all right? Yeah, so there are procedures given for every situation. One last thing I will say, Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada said, when you go in front of Radha Gopinath or any worshipable deity of your own temple, Radha Shyam Sundar in Adelaide, for example, when you go in front of those deities, when your heart says, deities are asked, what are you doing for me? Radha Gopinath asks you, what are you doing for me? Then you are advancing. Right now, what we ask from Gopinath, what are you doing for me? Gopinath, what are you doing for me? But you should feel in your heart, Gopinath asking you, what are you doing for me? That means you're advancing. So that's not an easy journey, but at least we should do something. Clean the floor. Nothing much you can do. Give Charnamrit, cut some veggies, chant one extra round on appearance day of some acharya. Whatever. Huh? So every time that giving attitude, service attitude should be inculcated. And then slowly, one day, we will feel dukkha not as dukkha actually. Yeah, dukkha has come due to my destiny, but there's nothing shaking me from inside. That's fine. Okay, let's stop there. Sorry, Mata. I hope you got at least few points. Okay, let's go to Ujjwala Rasa Mataji, Akhand Rasa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I was going to share something about these 4 things you mentioned. The 5th thing, which I always do in front of Shri Radha Gopinath Ji, is ask for forgiveness. Because I would have done so many things in my past lives, which I'm not even aware of.
But
So
that's why we covered in 3rd step, Mataji. When we say we are stupid, that's what we are doing basically, right? So asking for forgiveness for not identifying those opportunities, especially given by Gopinath. Because that's what, when Sukha comes, we see, yeah, Gopinath mercy. But Dukkha comes, we are like, yeah. So we're not identifying actually those opportunities. They are the opportunities to grow much higher. They're like the Samp Sidi. You get a ladder to go up in spiritual life. But we start comparing our spiritual growth with our material growth, or spiritual failures with our material fail. If we are materially fail, then you are spiritually fail. We consider like that. Actually, it's nothing to do like that. Material failures can put you maybe on a very high spiritual success. Prabhupada's everything was taken away, and then he said, that factory which I had, the last Krishna has, that was the last thing, Krishna has taken that away as well. Hari Bol. So sometimes, not all the times, a mature person will feel those as opportunities. So that's the same thing. You can do 3 and 5, but 3 has already that 5 element.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to share, how you mentioned about, if we do prayers in front of or pray within your heart, very, very from deep within the heart, I've experienced myself that Krishna does answer those prayers, because once I was hospitalized for a day, and there was going to be a scheduled surgery, and I was like totally, within a day I was fed up, and so many tests were done and everything. But the next day, when they were going to take me to surgery in a couple of hours, they just came and told me the surgery is cancelled. And I said, why? Why is it cancelled? And they said, well, the reason why the surgery was going ahead, that reason is no longer existing.
Hare
And I
Krishna.
said, how did this happen? And they said, we don't know. It's a
Hare
miracle.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Then I realized the prayers, Krishna had answered those prayers. So it
Yes,
is just
yeah.
amazing.
Many devotees experience that actually. And sometimes he may not reciprocate as per our desire. But again, when we become more and more mature and advanced, we'll consider, okay, that's what Krishna has put us in it. It must be best for me. Mm. Yeah, thank you, Mata, for sharing that. But yeah,
Thank you.
intense prayers from the heart, it says, always gets reciprocated. But the only thing we should not put on, they may not be reciprocated as per our expectations. As per our. So even if it is exactly opposite to our expectation, we should still consider that as Krishna's arrangement, a specific arrangement for us. But again, it's difficult. I'm just saying, my Guru Maharaj used to say, easier said than done. Because whenever he will give advice, he will always add that because he knows, he said, I'm saying it, but you have to face it. So he says, easier said than done. So we should be very sensitive towards others, not just, give advices and step back. No, because life is tough. And the challenges they are facing, we may not be able to face those challenges. So, yeah. Okay, let's move to Priya Mataji's question or any sharings.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
The last one you mentioned was so after you said like the third point is like saying that you're a stupid or don't understand the knowledge and don't need the mercy of the Lord. So and then what's the fourth one? Could you clarify again? Sorry.
Mridula Mata.
You can ask something like if somebody is in the hospital or something, you can request Krishna to take care. Something
Relates to personal prayers
personal.
which you may have in your hearts. And Mataji was saying many times the fourth becomes number one. We just go and ask and come back. So we should do the first three steps, then we can do the fourth one. Don't just do the fourth one. So that relates to your personal aspirations, desires, sufferings, kleshas, whatever. But again, as Prabhupada said, add that Krishna, if you desire so, resolve this health issue or other crisis in your life.
So any personal
Any
desires or
personal things, yeah.
yeah.
Because Krishna is your father. He says if the kid doesn't go to the father, where else the kid will go? So we have no other shelter except Krishna. So we can express our heart, but again, not in an instructive way, but in a very submissive way. But that should be also done in a fourth number, not as a first number. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, just that on the question of Krishna Vallabha. So once I was hearing Gaurang Prabhu, he was there in Pune and somebody asked a similar question and he very jokingly said that, अरे हम तो सुबह सुबह गाते हैं मम जन्मनी जन्मनी ना न धनम न जनम हम तो धन भी नहीं मांगते हैं कुछ भी नहीं मांगते हैं फिर भी हमको भगवान पैसा दे देते हैं मंदिर बनाने का तो हम अपने लिए कुछ नहीं मांगते हैं तो he was saying just concentrate on the Shishtastakam every day and then everything will fall in place, he was suggesting.
Thank you, Mata. Just on that, I remember a humorous thing, again by Gauranga Prabhu. Mom, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavtambaji. So he said one of the brahmachari in India, he had an intense desire to go to Germany. And he said, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitamba jagdish kamaye, mam Germany, Germanishware. Bhavatat Bhaktir. Bhagwan, my bhakti will only happen in Germany. Please give me the visa of Germany. So anyway, some side footnotes. Okay, let's finish this klesha of 5 types and then we'll probably stop the class. So first one is avidya. This is the root of everything. What is avidya? As per Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jiva has forgotten Jiva is Sarupa, Krishna and Nityadas. Radhanath Maharaj said, because you have forgotten that Krishna and Nityadas, all the problems are coming. Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj was saying, all the problems, including your malaria, Maharaj is speaking, including your malaria is due to your not remembering Krishna. Not remembering Krishna, your malaria, your bodily issues. Because he said, because you forgot Krishna, then you went into another direction to enjoy. You hurt a mosquito, not mosquito is hurting you by giving you the malaria. So anyway, he was jokingly saying, but a very nice aspect is saying, every problem of your life is due to your forgetfulness of Krishna. So if you remember Krishna, all the problems will go. One time, some disciples of Prabhupada came to Prabhupada. It was in Juhu. I think Giriraj Maharaj writes in his book, initially, as you know, there was very basic facilities. Devotees were literally living on the floor. So in the night, these big mouse will come. In Bombay, there are big, big mouse. What do you call mouse, Prabhu? Possum?
Bandicoots.
Huh? Hindi में बताइए यार. Possum, I think you call it, huh? Something else. In Bombay, there's a word for it because I've lived in Bombay for some time. Anyways, there's a word for it. Anyway, so this big,
Is
big
it called
mouse.
goose?
Huh?
Goose.
Goose. Thank you. Yeah, Marathi बताएंगे goose. So these big, big goose are coming. They were literally biting devotees. Devotees will bleed. Huh? And devotees went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada, this is the problem because for every problem they go to Prabhupada. And what was the solution of Prabhupada? Anyone can guess? Chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. And Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said, well, a logical mind will not be able to think, yaar, चूहे काट रहे हैं. I'm sleeping on the floor. Mouse are coming, are biting me, and you're telling, chant Hare Krishna, and problem will go. It doesn't make sense. But Maharaj said, Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said that. But we don't understand these things actually. We don't understand it. He said, but intense sadhana, and as much as possible taking the holy name very properly will surely solve these material problems. Maharaj said, he said, I have full, Maharaj speaking, Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, many years ago he came, he said, I have full faith. And he said, I also don't know how, but it happens. So every single problem, so-called problem, bodily, mental, can be resolved by Krishna consciousness. Although we don't practice Krishna consciousness for resolving those issues, but the point is, as we become purified, we go further up and up. Okay, I can see the watch is 9:01, so I'll stop here. I don't like going over time. Next week, we'll try to finish these 6 characteristics, which are quite big. And I'll request Sundar Gopal Prabhu if he's here. Not sure where he is. Anyway, to help me continue this without much question and answers, because I think last 2 weeks we were doing a lot of question and answer, which is very nice. But I think next week we'll try to finish this and before we take a break. So if you have a question, please write it down. We'll do in the beginning of the next class. Next class is on Tuesday. Anyone knows the date? 17th of December. Okay, so Tuesday, same time, 17th of December, which is the last class of this year. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Nectar of Devotion ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
We'll
Thank you,
continue.
Prabhuji.